The last of the 4 standard algorithms is called counting occurrences, and this is where it counts the number of times a specific condition has been met. So that could be equals 30, or between a certain range, or lower than a certain value, something like that. Okay, it's very similar in structure to linear search and finding maximum minimum. And the loop structure can change depending on the scenario. So in this example we've got a fixed loop, but you might have a while loop or a do until loop, a conditional loop, depending on the scenario. So feel free to adapt it to suit. Here's the pseudocode. You start off by setting the counter to 0, so that is the number of times the condition is met inside your unsorted array. And then in this instance we're using a fixed loop. So we loop, say, 10 times, 15 times, whatever, however many elements there are in the list. And we compare and we say if the item value, the current item value, meets the condition, add 1 to the counter. And if it doesn't, then in this case nothing happens. But you can extend 3, 4, and 5 to have an if then else, or an if then else if, and then an else. So you can have multiple conditional statements in there. You could also have a case statement instead, and this would still be a valid implementation of counting occurrences. Obviously once you get past step 6, you can then display or use the counter in some way that would impact the direction your program goes in, or display it on the screen to list how many times a certain condition has been met.